Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2. Today, it's going to be a game sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com by one of my patrons that subscribe to me at patreon.com/falconpaladin for $10 a month, which means they can send me one replay every single month that I will cast and put on the YouTube channel, no questions asked. Alright, upper right corner, we have the red Terran player, PanBastyk. And in the bottom left, it is the blue Protoss player, Nord, which maybe is NordVPN? I don't know. The fact that it's like a Firefox logo implies that maybe there's some internet browsing stuff going on here. I don't know, and you don't know, and probably only Nord knows. All right, so this is about a gold level replay, which means, again, any replay, any level, anybody, if you subscribe to me at patreon.com/falconpaladin for $10 a month. That is the benefit. And again, no questions asked. It's a male Carrick that the probe just scouted here on Eternal Empire. Did I say Eternal Empire? I don't feel like I did. Just a normal scouting probe, a normal scouting SCV. Worker scouting at this level is very important. You can basically scout a cannon rush. You can scout some proxy racks. You can scout an early pool. And then if you know how to respond to it, it's much easier to win versus those early cheesy strategies, I can tell you that much. But yeah, barracks here, gateway here, nothing going on. Whoa, hold on a second. Ah, yes, put the supply depot in the wrong position. PanBastyk. I have no idea what PanBastyk is all about here, but a one-base opener here from Nord. Interesting. Cybernetics core before Nexus and before the second gas. Well, second gas coming soon afterwards anyway. A little bit oversaturated, but no big deal. You can throw the extra probes onto this assimilator when it's complete. And not making anything with your barracks here, PanBastyk. I would recommend just making a Reaper, or if you don't want to do a Reaper, just a Marine. It's just helpful to have attacking units just in case something shows up unexpectedly, right? Right. All right, so one Rex expand here from PanBastyk. Again, a one-base opener here from Nord. Three assimilators on the gas here would be a good idea. But let's see what he has in plan. This guy, he's checking for proxies? It's like, you must have an expansion somewhere. Nord says, no, absolutely not. I'm fine. I have a single probe out. I have another probe moving out. I am making my first adept right now, which would be able to handle a Reaper if it was showing up. But there's not a Reaper showing up, so it's no big deal. Whoa, all right. Is he just four-gating? Kind of. I mean, he's making the 4 gates, but he also has a robotics facility here. Interesting life choices out of Nord. Let's see what he's doing. Seems like a pretty fun build. I'm kind of interested in seeing how one-base builds do in the current meta, so how this works out for Nord could be pretty interesting. On the other end, a factory from PanBastyk. We got ourselves a barracks all the way down a barracks here from Pan, which is totally cool. You can go with a Marine Marauder comp. I would love to see, obviously, this factory allow him to build a starport and get some medevacs out. At the lower levels, honestly, Marine Marauder medevac is an incredible composition. It's just stupidly good. It's really hard to counter for Protoss players. They have to get Splash, and Splash can be hard for Protoss players to do. Obviously, making Colossus is not a bad idea, but getting Storm and making that work, or getting Disruptors and making that work, can be very difficult indeed. So Nord is actually fully saturated on his gases, but he's oversaturated on his main base. He's continuing to make probes, which is great. But what he needs to do is toss down a Nexus here fairly soon. I would recommend that be his course of action. Post-haste, another factory. Ben, is he going for some weird barracks factory composition here? I kind of like it, to be honest with you. Now, these 2 Adepts should be able to beat these 3 Marines fairly handily, and the Marines recognize that. Good awareness from PanBastyk to recognize these Adepts are a problem. So, kwacha. Oh, hang on, unless you walk up and try to hit that supply depot, in which case you're going to take free shots and die. So I do like that Nord is holding both of the Zelnaga watchtowers. You probably don't have to hold them with probes, but I mean, I understand you want to have that vision, and at this level, okay. I can live with it. Look at this brave Adept actually getting, almost got kills there. Shades in, and SCVs take her down. That sucks. But what was the scout? What information did you receive? Well, not the factories, that's for sure. So keep an eye on that one. Nexus coming up from Nord. Finally expanding here. A little bit late, but that's okay. Has the 4 gates. Is floating about 700, 400 here. And I think the gateway should be able to warp an additional additional enemy or additional attacking units here. You don't want to warp in enemy units. That would be pretty terrible, I think. So the long distance mining here from the natural base. Pan is throwing down mules at his natural base, which is fairly injured. And he's making 2 starports in addition to the 2 factories he has with 2 tech labs. What is this? And additional barracks. Pan, this is a very interesting strategy. I kind of like it. That's why I like casting these lower level games. This is like, what? This isn't standard at all. I don't know what to expect, and that's fun. That's exciting. I like that about StarCraft. It's just, there are infinite compositions. Well, not infinite. There are so many different compositions you can choose to go in StarCraft. On every matchup. Barracks, 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 barracks. Dun, 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 dun. Shield batteries at the frontier for Nord. Oh, is this the latest patch? Whoa! We're making like 5 observers. Okay, I support this vision. Right? I support this vision for vision. It is important stuff. Engineering bay, engineering bay. I'd almost think this is battle cruiser because, well, I mean, the double... Okay, it's reactored starports. All right. For a second there, I thought maybe we'd lift the starports and put them on the tech labs here, the factories have built. But we're actually making tanks. We're actually making medevacs. We actually have a couple widow mines here. And then we are just making a lot of bio out of these barracks. Or we would be if we were making anything out of these barracks whatsoever. 1-1 coming in here from Pan. The Protoss player is doing... all right here. Still floating a bit of money, but getting additional gas at the natural base is always nice. Pan is actually up in worker count, 41 to 37. Nord's doing a good job making probes, but the Terran player doing a little bit better in this situation. Oh, he did tech lab this starport. Okay. So this one could be... I mean, could get upgrades there and go for Liberators, or this could be a battle cruiser, assuming we get a fusion core, but... so far, no. Pan does not have much. It's 32 to 23 army supply. We are making Marauders now. We are making Marines now. We're supply blocked, unfortunately, which is, again, a bad thing. But sending... there we go. Additional SCVs up to build supply depots at the same time is always very nice. Bit of a Stalker push out here from Nord. Pro tip for Stalkers, if you're going to move out like that, you want to get Blink. Just the ability to blink away from danger or into an enemy base or on top of a tank. Close that distance quickly and snipe it can be very, very good. If you watch professional PvTs, Blink is going to be the way to go here, but none of that today. That's okay. I think that's all right. Just kind of poke it in, trying to see if there's a third base. He has an observer flying around. These missile turrets are going to finish, and both these observers are dead. Good thing he has like 4 more. 2 more with another one on the way. Yeah, you gotta watch out for those turrets, man. There are not many things that will wreck you as an observer, but turrets definitely instantly will. Third base coming in from Nord, feeling pretty pleased about that, but the splash damage needs to be here. This is always how we talk about this, right? Splash damage versus Terran in some form. Pick one and go. But if you don't have splash, you're gonna get wrecked by the Terran when they have, for example, Marines and Marauders and Medevacs, which this is exactly what Pan has, about an 8-minute drop. Which, not super fast, and, you know, it's okay. Again, this is fine. Players are learning. They're doing the right things. If you're trying to improve your abilities, you got to get the right things down first. You know what I mean? Making good decisions, even if they're slow, is better than making bad decisions. And Pan doing the right stuff here. He's going for the drop. He's trying to move on over. But I think that did get a little bit scouted here. I think it might have actually flown through this Zelnai watchtower area, which is a bit of a problem from Pan, as there are stalkers and cannons waiting for any kind of a drop. He's been dropped before, Nord has. He's been hurt before. Ooh, these stalkers are just... oh, okay, you're going to go here? All right, fair enough, I guess. That's a good number of stalkers. But that's more Marines and Marauders here. The stalkers are in so much trouble. All of a sudden, the medevacs are healing very nicely right now. And bam, stalkers, no match. Zealots, better match. They're harder for the Marines and Marauders to kill, but they will get there if slowly. Trying to warp in another Stalker. No! Not happening. Stalkers might actually have to come home. Do you have a recall available? Yes, he does have a recall available. He's going to try to save the Nexus with a recall ability. And that's a lot of Stalkers. And the Medevacs probably have a boost. There you go. Boosts out and does save it with like 31 HP. Whew, that was close. That was a really nice drop, though. Did some really nice trades with those Marines and the Marauders. Didn't get the third base, which is a bit of a problem, but otherwise, doing okay here is PanBastyk. Just need to be producing stuff, man, and not being supply blocked helps a lot with that. So he is supply blocked. He's going to try to build a command center over here at the third, which will help with the supply block, but not for some time because they take a while to build. What he needs are supply depots, which he is producing for... back here is his area for that. Third base for Nord happening. He's only at 38 probes. This 13 out of 8 means you need to move 5 of your probes over down to your third base. And a bit of a Maynard Transferino. At least that's what they call it when it goes to the natural. I guess we can call it going to the third base too. Under near Serpose. So Observer here, loving that. Observer here, loving that. It's not like a Watchtower not held anymore because I guess somebody came through and killed that probe. Totally understandable. Blink on the way. Yes, love the Blink. Love the Medivacs, the Marines, the Marauders here from Pan. What upgrades does he have? 1-1. Nice. Is he working on 2-2? Not as much. That's okay. And he's building a lot of supply depots. He's been supply blocked a couple times today, and he doesn't want it to happen again. Fantastic. I support this fully. Mr. PanBastyk. He's producing more Medivacs 3 at a time because one of the starports is Tech Lab for some reason. Might have been a mistake. I don't know. He's building the command center off of location for the third base where it normally should be. He's just a little bit worried about stalkers showing up and causing problems for it. Totally understandable. Still kind of waiting on Nord to get some splash damage here of some kind. So far, not really seeing it. Archons are another decent option. Kind of a decent low APM option are Archons. They do bonus damage versus biological. Accounts for both Marauders and Marines. It could be pretty great if they're allowed to get up right in the face of these guys and just go blah, blah, blah. You can do that. You're going to have a good time. This Observer, I think he got scanned, and the Marine tried to kill it but couldn't do it. Didn't have the damage output ability to make it happen, so his buddy shows up with his shiny reflective helmet. They stim. He keeps sending probes up to take the Zelnaga watchtowers, which are very easy to kill. Not super ideal. Pan says, I dropped on the right last time. That will be prepared for. You are correct. I'm going to drop on the left this time, which will be less prepared for, and kind of, except there are stalkers and cannons here as well. If there's one thing Nord is doing well in this game, it is definitely base defense against drops. He's got cannons up. He's got stalkers in position in all sorts of places to make it easy for him to, you know, stay alive versus this drop-heavy Terran style. I love it. Ooh, Templar Archive's almost done. Okay, so at the very least, we're going to have the ability to make High Templar and Archons. If you get Storm and you can use it well, that is just going to be gravy. I really don't know about engaging here. I don't know about engaging here, Nord. I'm feeling it. Feeling worried about this. Mass Stalker versus Marina Marauder is such a hard thing to pull off. Sentry Guardian Shield, no, gets target fired. Are there just enough Stalkers here to win this thing? By golly, just enough Stalkers to overwhelm the bio. And the Medivacs pick up and dust out of there. Nicely done. Resources lost, 4,800 for Nord, 3,300 for Pan. But that one was definitely, I think, in favor of the Protoss player. Army supplies, 91 to 37, though. Okay, Pan, there's something to be said for just going and killing your opponent. Like, if you notice, there are no Disruptors. There's no Storm anywhere. It's just mostly Stalkers with, like, a couple Zealots. Maybe just kind of A-move and go with what you have. Like, I understand playing defensively. I understand turtling up as Terran. It's one of your strengths. It's one of your race's abilities, is the turtle capability. And just, it's really hard to break. But at the same time, man, there's just a just go and kill them thing that Day 9 needs to talk about when he talked about StarCraft. I missed that guy. He just danced his stalkers. Beautiful. Beautiful little dance there. High Templar in production, but no Storm. This is probably going to be Archons, would be my guess. What's he doing with them? They're here. When they just come out, they have feedback, and they have a basic attack, which does, like, less than a worker attack does. It was given to them just as a quality of life, so that Protoss weren't A-moving their army into enemy compositions, and that the High Templar would also A-move into them and die. At least when they're attacking, they're staying away, and therefore feasibly don't die as quickly. Fourth base from Nord here, but he's... I mean, it's 125 to 45 APM. This is going to be so difficult for Nord to win. He's getting Storm. All right, man. If there's one thing that can help you win this game, it's going to be the Storm. So your fourth base is probably dead, if I had to guess. Stalkers are going to try to come up this ramp where there are tanks waiting for you. Ow, ow. And there is an Archon here. If you're just pushing... Wow, Widowmine shot. Blinks through. Tries to take down one of the Stalkers and does get it. Wait, no. Oh, no. He misjudged. He misjudged the number of attacks. That's horrific. Marine drop inside the main base, going after all of these gateways. We're warping in some Zealots to try to stop this. They're doing all right, actually, and they do force a pickup and a retreat. But look how much army there is from Pan right now. This is crazy to... Oh, jeez. Well, let's see. Basic attack from the High Templar. Not nothing. It's not nothing, is what they say. Cannon, shield battery, pretty good against these guys. Archon, bro, that's my kill. That's my Marine kill there. But this is just, again, 120 to 37 army supply. Like, this is... no. You keep going. This is one Archon. You can kill one Archon, Pan. I believe in you. The Archon's like, yes, I believe in you too. Run! Storm is done, though, and, like, storming on this ramp could be sick. You ready for it? Ready for the possibility of storming on that ramp? Oh, there's one! There's two! Oh my gosh, it's weakened everything up so much. The cannon's getting so much on the Archons, and they're getting so much work as well. And suddenly, Pan is down to 80 army supply. Most of these are medevacs, which is not going to help all that much. Reinforcing units are coming up. Dude, Nord using that storm to great effect. Cannons. No cannons here. Tanks, though, setting up in siege mode. Trying to use the Warp Prism to warp in Zealots and deal with these cannons. And just by the skin of his teeth there, manages to hold. It's still 72 to 23 army supply. Like, Pan has just been crushing it on production right now. The fact that his medevacs are alive is really important. The more medevacs you have as the game goes on, the better it's going to be for you. This natural base is a little oversaturated. Transferring down here would be good. So yeah, the splash damage of choice is Storm. If he didn't have any splash damage at all, he was dead there. He was. Everything was going to die. There was just no way that Nord was going to survive for another 2 minutes whatsoever. So at this point, Pan has to recognize this is a Protoss player who knows how to use Storm. And he's making Colossus. Aha, making Colossus, but not researching this upgrade here, the extended thermal lance. You can't see it, but trust me, it's there. And Nord taking a fourth base, or replacement fourth base after the third one did get wrecked. So fourth base in it, 3 base in it happily is Pan, walling on the left side. Zealot trying to come through. And you know what? Friendly fire splash on these tanks might be problematic a little bit. One of the tanks does go down as a result of the friendly fire. Bit of a Zealot bomb situation, except instead of bombing, we're just kind of walking them up to the target. Pan has maxed out available supply. Nord is 150 available supply. Colossus out. No extended thermal lance, even though another Colossus is in production. Long distance mining here with the 45 workers from Nord. Looks like Pan wants to set up for his fourth base at the Rich Vespine Geyser base, which is always very, very nice. I do enjoy that quite a bit. And boink, there's the command center. All right, cool. So he's going for it. Trying to make it happen. I don't know. I just still feel like 118 to 47 army supply is a lot here for Pan. I mean, sure, 11 of that is medevacs. Medevacs count as army supply, even though they can't necessarily kill anything. They're just an army force multiplier, where if you have a bunch of them, your bio's a lot better. Not necessarily against Storm, though, just because Storm is doing straight up raw instant damage. Well, kind of instant damage, but it basically functions as such. So I'm not sure that Nord is going to get extended thermal lance, which I'm worried about. He's getting a Dark Shrine, which I'm a fan of. It's just, it's 124 to 59 army supply, and, well, I mean, flying right over these stalkers would be pretty good, actually. Oh, full medevac. Ugh, full medevac down. Dude, I think, man, he saw the Colossus, was like, nope. We're not engaging with that Colossus, which makes a lot of sense here. Any storm, there are 3 storms, each on one of these High Templar. Just unloads, and High Templar getting focused down a little bit. Where is your storm, guys? 2 of you are dead. The recall with the Colossus is enough to make Ben get out of here. He does not like the Colossus at all. He has died to Colossus many times before, and as a result does not want to engage whatsoever with those guys. Can't necessarily be saying that I blame him. Concussive Shell on the way from Pan. A little bit late, in all fairness, but yeah, better late than never, I suppose. 12 o'clock base from Pan, up and rockin'. Riggedy rockin'. And Nord's army is just kind of up here trying to take down this base before it comes a planetary fortress. The Storm Colossus working out. Working out pretty well there, I gotta say. This planetary finishing would be so big for Pan. Is it going to finish, though? A lot of the workers are dead. Marauders are rallying into this position, which is bad. Meanwhile, Pan does take down the third base of Nord, crushing it. Planetary finishes, but there's really not much to repair. There's one SCV and a mule, which means you dead. Sayonara. Sucka, third base down. Reinforcing unit trying to come in and save it. Not going very well for Nord. And he's like, I guess we're going? Or is he going to drop? Oh, he's going to drop in the main. You drop in the main. There's a lot of zealots out here, though. But in that position where the surround isn't really possible, these two Marines and Marauders are killing it. Versus the +2 armor Protoss units with the +1 attack. Ooh, taking down pylons, taking down cannons. Trying to supply block Nord. Not a terrible idea, honest. Ooh. Dark Shrine gets focused down here, too. Oh, he's taking out the Templar Archives? I think at least that's what he's kind of trying to... The Storm, though. And the feedbacks on the Medivacs. Ooh, the High Templar gets sniped as a result. Another High Templar down. This is so gutsy right now from both players. 102 to 34 army supply. Oh, and that cannon just goes wha-bam, 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 wha-bam. You've all been feedbacked. Your energy has been converted to damage against you, and now you're much squishy. 12 o'clock base from Pan is done. Look at these reinforcements, man. He's so scary right now. He's so terrifying. Pan, liking what you're doing here. Only 35 workers, though. I guess a lot of his workers died here down on this low ground. Big old transfer up to the 12 o'clock. All right, cool. I mean, he has mined out of his first two bases, so sure. Let's fully saturate the new one. Stalker's getting in here. Oh, DTs are here. That Dark Shrine did not actually die. Did it? Oh, he did get the Dark Shrine. All right, so the Dark Shrine is dead, which means that these DTs are the last ones we'll see for some time. Nord is not producing anything right. Oh, does he have DTs in here? He has DTs in here. Oh my gosh. So the Colossus dies, the Stalker dies, the DTs. Oh, taking Widowmine hits, and there's a scan. But the tank dies anyway, and the DT goes down. That's it for DTs. Nord decides to make additional High Templar and wait for them to get enough energy for Storm because he is utterly worried about what the Terran player is going to do to him, which is entirely reasonable because, again, it's 113 to 22 army supply. I feel like Pan has been consistently up in army supply this entire game by huge numbers and just hasn't been able to capitalize on this at all, thanks to good Storm usage, Colossus existence, mostly shield batteries helping with some of that defense. Ah, this is latest patch, so this has the shield overcharge ability. Or the shield battery overcharge ability. I always forget what it's called. Basically, it's overcharged, though. Ba-da-bum-bum-ba-dum-bum. Southern base coming up here for Nord. +3 attack. Ooh, and Disruptor's on the way from Nord, too. Pan could go for 3-3. He has an armory. He's just not interested in going for further upgrades right now, which I think is an obstacle to him winning this game. Yeah, upgrades. He only has the one forge, so he's queuing up his +3 attack, his +3 armor, and his shield's level 1, which is kind of cool. Big old Zealot Warping in here, going after... What is the target here exactly? This factory in particular. This one needs to die, says Nord. I'm not sure why. But see, now that you're doing this, what you want to do is tack up this direction when everyone's running into the main base to try to deal with these Zealots. And deal with them you are, because that is so much bio with 2-2 in stim. Zealots are going to have a bad time, but see how lightly defended this area is now? So good Protoss. You warp in here, and then you send an attack on the other side of the map to one of their bases and murder them good. But I understand there really isn't much of an army here from Nord. He's at 52 supply. Got a couple Disruptors here. He's got some High Templar and some Stalkers here. He's got some Stalkers down this way. It's just kind of, we're defending different areas because we're not sure where the Terran player is going to come from. And he has so many Marauders, though. God, this is so scary right now. I mean, this is what you do if you know your opponent isn't going air. Just all the Colossus, man. Just mass Colossus and tank. I think Pan has the right idea. He's spreading his tanks out to avoid getting Storm on any more than a couple of them at a time. He's just going to go up this ramp. And again, there's going to be Storm. So he scans up it to make sure he sees what's going on. Meanwhile, a bit of a Zealot warping on the other side. Going after some supply depots. Not going to be able to supply block. I'd say not going to be able to supply block the parent player very easily. See, actually, man, that delays. That delays the attack. So bunker down. Zealots engaging directly into the... No. Nope. You want to run those Zealots away. They're fast now. Did you realize that? They're zippy. Disruptors here too, man. Ooh, coming up this ramp with all this, you're probably going to get disrupted and stormed in the face. So maybe don't do it, Pan. Maybe don't come up this ramp. I guess with tank support, you're going to have a better time. He's waiting till the scan wears off.
Consciousness awakened.
Whoa. And the disruptors coming on down, taking down tanks. Ah! Disruptors taking tank shots. There's more tanks. And then the rest of the bio comes storming up the ramp and says, I know you have Storm. I know you have Storm. I'm not going to go up here and stand there. I will come up and snipe some things and then pull back. Because I'm a smart Terran player. Meanwhile, 6 o'clock base gets dropped for Nord. He pulls the probes, but the Nexus is going to die. And he comes up the ramp again. Says, hey, walk into my tank fire. Oh my gosh, no. The Disruptors, though, the High Templars trying to get storms off, but taking major tank everything fire here. That is bad. Disruptor down 172 to 12. Army supply. If Nord wins this, it'll be the most ridiculous comeback I've ever seen, maybe, on the channel. No, good game, well played. Nord taps out. And PanBastyk is your winner. So nicely done, Pan. Just good macro across the whole board there. Consistently making stuff. His upgrade game was a little bit lacking, but 2-2 is not bad either. And then Nord just didn't ever quite have the army. Just couldn't quite pull it off. Sitting on about 1,700, 1,900 workers. Lost some of the gateways in here, didn't replace them, I don't think. Didn't have a lot of gateways with which to just continually produce units, which is what you want to do. And then, I mean, if your opponent's going this many Marauders, it's like, well, Disruptors it is, man. And you got Disruptors, and they're hard to control. I get it. They really are. I mean, Pan was dodging them pretty effectively. I mean, this might even be a situation where you might want to go for Sky Toss, just because the Marauder count is so darn heavy. But it's a difficult thing to do for sure. I did love the attacks in the main base. Again, a counterattack on the other side would have been a good thing for sure. And I mean, this is like the income for Pan right now. So, I mean, you wipe this out, suddenly it's a tough situation for him economically. But the army is just so big it doesn't really matter. This is actually a pretty good screenshot. Like, jeez. Everything's blowing up. Everything's firing. Anyway, good stuff. Good stuff both sides. Good Patreon cast. Enjoyed it quite a bit. And let's check out some of these final stats, and then we'll get you out of here for today. But end of the day, 33,000 resources lost for Nord and 21,000 lost for Pan. That's a pretty big difference there. 37 SCVs died. Only 13 probes died. So, I mean, Nord did have the better economy at the end of the game, especially counting that 6 o'clock base that died. But unfortunately, Army was, again, tiny bit lacking. 45 Marauders and 128 Marines died, but he still had 37 Marines and 45 Marauders at the end of the game with 6 tanks and 6 medevacs. 6 Disruptors died. The Disruptor control was a little bit iffy at the end of the game there. Understandably so. It was a stressful situation. 2 Colossus died. No extended thermal lance is also a big thing I'd like to point to. 2 Nexuses down. 10 shield batters. 16 cannons. And the partridge in the pear tree. Fun stuff. All right. Well, that is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 and a bonus Patreon cast. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. If you like what you saw and what you heard today, you can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
Ascension is before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. Justice. Our duty is unending. I feel your presence. We are as one. Sense of soul, the soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Ascension is before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. I sense a soul, a soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. us. Antleranus, Nasleran, Kialatu. Casar di Templare, Undaramanaka, Oshara Sashina, Kinala Tu.